Hi, I'm Kevin, a speech-language pathologist here at Super Duper Publications, and this is the Super Duper Data Tracker. It's an expanded data collection app for your iPhone, your iPod Touch, and iPad. Now this is an expanded version of the original Super Duper Data Tracker, and it's an advanced tool for monitoring and documenting your students' progress. Some of the new features allow you to create multiple goals for each student, choose from various response types, tally, correct, incorrect, approximated, and queued. You can undo the last recorded response to correct an error, store data for an unlimited number of sessions. You can add students to multiple groups and even add students temporarily to a group to make up for missed sessions. And you can even write notes for each student from that session, email results for individual students or all the students in a group, and graph results for each goal. To learn more about the app, we can touch the More button and then simply click About Data Tracker, and this will provide us with a brief product description. We've also included a short tutorial to learn more details about the app. We can click the Watch Tutorial, and this will bring us a menu that we can select which part of the app we want to look at the tutorial information. So now that we've learned more about the app, now it's time to manage our players. To do this, we simply touch the Manage Players button, and this provides us with an alphabetical listing of all the students on our caseload. To add a new student, we simply touch the plus sign in the top right, and this brings up our student data page. Here we can add the student's name, we can add multiple goals, assign them to a group, and then it will even list the most recent sessions of data for that student. When we add a goal, it's also going to prompt us to select the type of response that we want to record during that session. This will include correct responses, incorrect or correct responses. The third one will be correct, incorrect, or an approximated response. And then finally, we could select all four, which include the correct, incorrect, approximated, and a queued response. Once we have all of the students' information entered, their name will now appear on our caseload list. Not only does this keep a listing of all of our students' names alphabetically, but out to the right, you'll also see the number of goals that that student is working on as well. So if we highlight one student, let's highlight Darlene. This will show you Darlene, the goals that she's working on, the groups that she's assigned to, and also at the bottom of the screen, it's going to provide data information from the most recent sessions up to 5 sessions. However, if you'd like to see information and student progress over multiple sessions, we simply click View All Sessions, and this will give you a list of all the sessions the child has completed. Now that we have all the students' information entered and we've assigned them to a group, now we're ready to begin our sessions. We simply click Start New Session, and this will provide us with our listing of our groups, such as our therapy schedule. We simply tap the group that we're working with, and this will provide us with all of the students' names in that group. If the student is not participating or may be absent that day, we can simply highlight their name, and it will remove the check mark from their list so that now that student's information will not rotate as we do the session. But for this instance, we're going to have all students participating. Once we have all of our students checked, we're going to click Begin, and this will confirm these are the students in that group that we will be taking data for that day. Once we do that, we start the session, and this brings us up our student's name and the goals. Now you'll notice across the top of the screen that will have the student's name, for instance, James, and then it's going to also list all 3 goals and the type of response that we're recording for that student. For example, with James' initial F in words, we're collecting data for incorrect, approximated, queued, and correct responses. However, with James, with his goal to reduce stopping and track inappropriate use of stopping, we're only going to check did he exhibit that or did he not during the session by simply clicking for a correct tally mark. Now to go from student to student, we simply swipe the name bar and it will take us to the next student's goals and their responses that we're recording as well. We'll continue to swipe the names as we work with each student during the session. If we want to go to a specific student in the group to record their responses, we can simply tap the name bar, and this will bring up our list of students. We can select the student that we want to record the data for, so in this case James, and it will provide us with James' goals and his responses for easy recording. So as you're working with your students, and say you happen to hit the wrong button, you can simply click the undo button in the bottom right, and it will undo that last recorded response. So once you've collected all your data and you're ready to end your session, you simply touch the menu button at the bottom. Then we'll select End Current Session. Yes, we want to end. But now we want to view our results. We do this by simply tapping View Sessions button. Now this is going to let us view each session by date, by player, or by the goal. Well, for this instance, we want to see how well a student did on their goals for that day. Select by goal. So we take a look at Scott and his articulation goals. Here we'll notice his goals are listed. So if we check to see how did he do on initial G in words, this is going to provide all the data for each session that he's participated in. Now this is only going to give us a percentage data for that session. If we want to see how the responses break down in more detail, we can simply click in the bottom left-hand corner, Open All, and then this will provide us with a more detailed response as far as how many correct, incorrect, approximated, or cued responses that he had during that group. Whichever response that you're tallying for that group, that's what will be recorded here. So not only do we provide the data for these students, we also have a graphing option that you can check for each goal. In the bottom right-hand corner, we tap Graph, and then this will provide us with a color-coded graph by response for that student. So you'll see now we have our goal listed at the top, we have our date and time listed across the bottom, and we have our percentage accuracy listed along the left-hand side. So if you'd like to take a look at this information in sum format, you simply touch the sum button, and now we have a graph that's going to once again have our responses color-coded, our date and time across the bottom, and now we have our number of responses listed along the left-hand side of the graph. And not only do we have this information in the data form as well as the graph form, you can also email these results to yourself or to other teachers. With this, we simply touch the email icon in the upper right-hand corner, and then this will provide us with a listing of all of our sessions. We'll tap and highlight the sessions that we want to get the data from. Once we do that, we select Send, and it will provide us with the email to send to ourselves, teachers, or even parents. You can also type notes with each session and include the graphs with the email. So that's the Super Duper Data Tracker app. It's a great tool to help you record different types of responses from your students. To purchase your copy of this app, please visit the Apple iTunes Store. And to learn more about this and our other apps, please visit our website, superduperinc.com/apps, and even check out our Facebook page. We'd love for you to share your thoughts and ideas on how you can use this app with your students.